1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2.
So, what was your workshop about here in Serbia?
My workshop was about interdisciplinary methods, which is actually, for example, applied to science thinking. This is a method which was actually experienced by designers, and you can very good applicate it to teacher education, especially also in math, because it gives you a lot of creative ideas. And yeah.
Would you say what would you say makes your visit and workshop program in Serbia unique?
I don't know if my workshop would make my visit unique. I think the whole conference is unique, and what I can tell you is that I consider many very engaged teachers who really want to change something, do something. After, in the breaks they come to you, they have ideas. I think it's very challenging, and they're coming up very interesting ideas we should proceed with.
Would you say the language barrier was a huge problem for you?
I would not say so. I mean, English is also for me not my first language. I speak German, and sometimes maybe I'm worried if I speak too fast or if I make mistakes in rhetorics, like saying or something like that. But I think by communication, it was not a problem, because the teachers spoke English, and if not, they could have a help by others. So it was not really a problem.
What would you say makes your visit and workshop program in Serbia unique?
Well, perhaps I could say the experience with the teachers, with the audience. It was a rather exceptional audience. For 2 weeks they kept on coming, they came back. I thought that after a few days or after a week it would become rather sloppy, but even until the last day they were full of attention for the talks. That was one reason. And another reason is, of course, the fact that Slavik Žablan, a professor here in Belgrade, who is from Niš actually, is one of the main participants. He was actually one of the persons behind this idea. And he is also, on a worldly scale, an important professor on the level of visual mathematics. So that's another reason. It's actually to honor this Professor Slavik Žablan, who was at the origin of the idea of visual mathematics. Actually, visual mathematics is more or less, I could say, a Serbian idea.
What were your lectures about in this summer school?
Well, I had one about hyperbolic polyhedra, and to make it short, normally a polyhedron, you would think it's something to approximate a sphere with squares or triangles, and this is, of course, the classical idea we have of a polyhedron. And the idea I proposed is to make polyhedra that look like hyperboloids. Why? Because in this way you can do something creative as a mathematician. Of course, if you have a polyhedron, you can do creative things, you can color it, you can draw it again and again, but you cannot really add something to it. And what I wanted to propose to teachers is that if they make polyhedra that look like a hyperbola, they can invent polyhedra themselves, and maybe sooner or later there will be a polyhedron named after a Serbian math teacher. That would be fun. That was one talk, and then I had another talk about the question if mathematicians are funny or not. And the audience apparently thought that mathematicians are funny. And that was a collection of jokes that mathematicians tell amongst themselves. So maybe it was rather easy, because the audience was an easy audience, I must admit. They understood all the jokes and they had good laughs. So it was not so difficult for this audience. And when you are a mathematics teacher, as I heard from one of the teachers said that very often we think mathematics is boring for the students, and perhaps this is true. But also the mathematics teachers often have a hard job. They have, I wouldn't say a boring job, no, but they have a tough time. They have to explain again and again, year after year, sometimes the same thing and so on. And so maybe for them it's maybe good too to have a laugh from time to time with what they are doing themselves. So this is, I think, maybe a summary of why I'm doing it. If you have a laugh about what you're doing, if you are modest about your own work, maybe it's a good point of view.
Is this your first time participating in a VisMath school?
In a visual mathematics conference, no. I go to many conferences about mathematics and art, but if you use the term visual mathematics, this term which was coined by Slavik Žabla, I think this is rather exceptional here, that we have a true summer school in visual mathematics. It's pretty exceptional. But I've been to many conferences on mathematics and art. I think I've been to almost all of the important math art conferences in the world. Yes, I can say so.
Is the language barrier a problem for your lectures and participants?
Well, I speak Dutch and also French because I'm from Belgium. So language issues, we are specialists in this in Belgium. So actually I think language should not be a border. No. For instance, I assisted to conferences that were given in Serbian, but they gave me on a piece of paper the translation, and the PowerPoint was in English. And I think actually the main goal is to talk about art, to talk about mathematics, and to talk about what brings mathematics and art together. This is the main topic, and I repeated this several times to some participants. Language is not an issue here. We are not teachers of English. We are not exporters of English or American culture. No, our goal is mathematics and art. It's an important question, actually. I like this question. I should even talk more about this. Because the main goal is to bring the people and the mathematicians together. And the language, I can even discuss about mathematics without using language. You can even discuss using images and so on. So language really should not be a border.
I suppose that's what made the presentations work so well.
Yes, and also they gave a lot of illustrations. On Family Day you could even hold the mathematics in your own hands. So language is important, but with goodwill you can understand each other.
How did you spend your days in here, outside the school and the lectures?
It was very easy. In the morning I went to the lectures, in the afternoon I went to the workshops, and then at 4 o'clock we finished, more or less. And then I went one day jogging to the artificial lake, another day on a bicycle to Zemun, and then I even went on a canoe trip here on the Danube. If you saw a yellow canoe here on the Danube, that was me. So I did like what they do in Oxford University or in Cambridge, canoeing on the canals, on the water. This is what I did here for Belgrade Metropolitan University, canoeing on the Danube. So I could spend my time like, I had a good time, let's say it like that.
Did you bring a special project for Family Day, or did you have anything in mind?
Well, I had the balloons, the little balloon thing. But in the end I saw that there were so many things that I had the impression the Family Day was exceptionally good, because there were many people passing by. BMU is very well situated at the shore of the Danube, and people walked by and they said, oh, what is this here? Is this somebody who sings traditional songs? Is this somebody who sells shoes, paintings, something? No, they're selling mathematics here. Wow, let's have a look. So we were like people you can see in the Knes Mikhailov who were selling whatever, painting and so on, and we were selling mathematics. So I think that worked well.
I would ask you to see if you have anything, any sort of special remark to say for the end, any last words about this entire project.
Well, I think there should be some kind of continuation. This is a little problem if this would end after a few months. It's always a pity when something ends like that. They should do more Family Days like this on the shore of here, the Danube at VMU. If they would have like a yearly Family Day event, I think that would be a nice thing to bring the teachers together. Even if it would be just a party with teachers around mathematical objects, that would be nice too, but it would be a pity that it would just finish after 2 years of work. Because the teachers, they continue their work day in, day out, and so they need to be encouraged continuously, I think, for their good work.
What are your lectures about?
My lecture was about mathematical modeling in teaching, because this project is in fact visualization of mathematics, and in fact this is included in mathematical modeling in teaching, because in mathematical modeling we start from real life problem. We can start, for example, from some picture, from something made by hands and so on, and then you are going to mathematics. After that you are going back, give some interpretations, and this is in fact some kind of visualization. Visualization is a special or in this kind of mathematical modeling. the workshop was about GeoGebra, using GeoGebra in mathematics, in mathematical modeling. In fact, for that purpose, we prepared some visualizations of the curves given in polar coordinate and parametric representation of some curves, and that have very nice shapes, flowers, and very nice pictures can be played. Also, we consider golden section, and in this golden section we have Archimedes, we have a golden spiral, we can say, and we constructed this golden spiral and approximations of this golden spiral. Also, we show where the golden spiral can be found in the nature, everywhere else. We show little flowers, sunflower, cauliflower, some leaves of the plants, and so on.
What were your favorite activities?
Well, there were a lot of great lectures, but my favorites were the workshops after the lectures, like the one that Koja from Macedonia organized, where she taught some simple principles how to present knowledge to children of earlier schooling.
Did you, from what I understand, you participated in Remus's workshop about 3D modeling. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yes, the workshop was really great. I had some previous experience with 3D modeling, but I didn't know how to use the particular program that Remus used, and he organized the workshop really well. We all had different topics that we wanted to discuss, and he helped us all to achieve our goals that we set for ourselves. So for me it was how to present some data of three-dimensional functions or the more dimensions, and he helped me with that.
Hello, my name is Katarina Ivanović. I'm a primary teacher in primary school, Stevan Dukić in Belgrade.
I'm Slavik Jelman and I'm teaching at ICT College in Belgrade and also at Metropolitan University.
So what were your lectures about in primary school?
My lecture was about Serafinsky pyramid. It was something I did with my class, with 8th grade students, and it was about experience that I got in last summer school, and I introduced in my lectures the year that passed on.
And my lecture was about knot theory. In first glance it looks that it is pretty sophisticated and complicated theory connected with the topology, with the high level mathematics and something like that. But we have knots also in the ordinary life. So if you do anything, every time you will use some practical knots. And we are trying to make combination between experience that we have from everyday life and of course mathematical theory. So we are trying to visualize different knots and links and see, to compare them, to relax them, to find it in fluids, to find it in nature, to find it in many other phenomena.
So what were your general impressions of this year's session?
It was really wonderful. It was a great experience, and it helped me a lot to include art in my mathematics class, to include games, and to try to make lectures more interesting and more motivating for my students.
For me it was a remarkable experience, not just because of this year in the school, but because that I'm trying, I could say all my life, to bring visual mathematics in the field of interest. So namely, I was one of the organizers. We started something like 2 years ago without knowing how this would go, and this year I was really surprised and I enjoyed how it was successful.
Have you got any final remarks?
I was best teacher actually with best lectures, and I was announced that way from other teachers because, in this summer school, and it's a great prize, really very showing me that I need to be an innovative teacher if I want to make math classes more interesting, to visualize it for children and make it more interesting for them.
I'm every time trying to think more about future than the past. So let's say we finish at that school and I'm thinking about future projects. I hope that we will continue with that program.
My name is Snežana Marković. I'm professor of mathematics at University of Niš, and I'm involved in this project as a member of the team in front of Mathematical Institute of Serbian Academy of Science and Art.
What were your lectures about?
My lecture was about Serbian medieval fresco art, and it is connected with exhibition which held on this autumn-winter in Museum of Applied Art in Belgrade. It is a collection of ornaments from our church from the beginning of the 12th to the end of the 14th century, and this huge material was collected by Zagorka Janc in 1951, and now they try to organize the another exhibition with this exponent. The author of that exhibition was Dušan Mihajlović, and Professor Slavik and me were invited to give our paper to the catalog which was published due to this exhibition. This exhibition is now in Paris. It is open on July 15 and it will be open until the end of August. After that it should be organized in Salzburg and probably in America. We will see about that.
What were your favorite activities?
For me, it has been a workshop afternoon. It was really pleasant to participate in that. And the most interesting was by Professor Dirk. He's from Bristol. Can you imagine 2 hours of laughing? He brought humor in mathematics, and we was so delighted with his lecture. My compliment to him, really. At the other side, there was a young student, Keria. She's an artist from Vienna. And she connected artists and math, and she was really nice in that. And I was so glad that I can learn something from so young person like Kerry is. So really, I like it all our workshops in this seminar.
I understand that you have participated in summer school last year and you have lectures.
Yes, I had to.
What do you think of this year's summer school?
Even more, I like lectures from this school. They're really good, great. I only saw that we are not together like in Eger, you know. Always you need time to talk about lecture, workshop, something like that. I only saw that we are not together, you know. But at that part, Eger was better, that we are also together all the time.
In general, did this summer school leave a mark on you?
Yes, of course. I really adore it. I gave up my holiday to participate in this school, so you can know how it's so important for me.
Thank you very much.